With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.
A much-needed win. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry. Alongside a happy TTU head coach Watson Brown, I'm your humble host, Buddy Pearson. The Golden Eagles ventured to Cape Girardeau, Missouri this past Saturday, and, well, they came home with a nice 41-16 victory over the Red Hawks. And, Coach, when you're banged up and you're low on confidence, that's just what the doctor ordered.
Boy, it was nice timing. It was a good win. We played well. I think we caught SEMO on a day they didn't play as well, and it makes for a nice last couple of weeks here for us, buddy. We get to come back and rest just a little bit and get some confidence back, and then finish with a state game next week against Austin Peay. After going to Eastern Illinois last week, it would have been very easy to come out and go to Cape Girardeau and not have a lot of enthusiasm and just, go up there and lay an egg. But this team didn't do that. No, we did not, and we practiced. I felt good all week because it was our best week of practice, and we talked about pride and being a Golden Eagle, and we can't get into what the records are and all of that right now. And I really thought our kids responded to that. And it's a little easier to do that when your team's this young and this many players coming back again next year. I think if you've got older teams, that's a little harder to do. But we also played a very young team in SEMO too. So we just got off to a good start in the game and gained confidence as the game went on. Yeah, like you said, the Golden Eagles did get off to a great start. As we take a look at the first half highlights, brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville. It was a nice sunny day. Actually, it wasn't too cold up in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Wind was blowing pretty good, but Darian Stone back at quarterback coach and finally healthy. It looked like the old Darian. We said that to him after the game. I said, that's the first time I've seen Darian Stone in about 4 weeks that can use those legs and his strength. That was a beautiful run, another good run here on the quarterback power O play, as we call it, and gosh, he rushed for, I think, 160-something yards. He had a great day. This was a big play in the game, I thought, right here. They had a nice drive going to go down to kick a field goal, and we blocked the field goal, take the ball right back down the field, and big swing, I thought, right there in the ball game. Yeah, Darian Stone, a 4-yard touchdown, 14-0. Tevin McDermott is the one who blocked that field goal. Then look at Jay Rudwall. Jay now wants to play running back. He's he came in my office today. He's ready to go to tailback. I think that was a great interception. I'm very proud for Jay. Jay's had a tough year losing his daddy earlier in the year. His daddy was one of those fans that we had that never missed a scrimmage, never has missed a game. And as Jay knows, he saw that. He got to see that play too. Yeah, the Cookeville kid, Stephen Bush, went in for a touchdown. Bush again, another touchdown here, a 7-yard jaunt to pay dirt. That puts Tennessee Tech up 28-3. Just really had a great first half on both sides of the ball. Our defense played well. Our offense had its best game in quite a few weeks, and you could see the confidence grow in this team as we got close to halftime here. Darius Goff tips it. Marty Jones comes up with a nice interception there with 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Yeah, the only disappointing thing, our only turnover, we had a chance here to get some points to add to it, and Darian didn't do a good job right here. That's just a really poor throw, and he needs to learn to just slide in the pocket instead of just taking off running like that, and then he would be under control to make that throw. Coach, after being down at halftime in several games, you're up 28-3. You had to come up with a different halftime speech. Well, it was a little easier one, I can tell you that. But it was a nice halftime. We didn't have to make a lot of adjustments because we're doing well on both sides of the ball, so it was really an easy half for us. And came back out in the third quarter and got a quick score right out the gate, and I thought that pretty much put the game away. I think one of the things that we talked about during the radio broadcast is that Southeast Missouri never really accounted for Darian Stone. They never really had anybody shadow him at all. No, he got loose on scrambles. He got loose on the design quarterback runs. He got loose on the quarterback read play when they were taking the dive a lot and letting him run the ball. They let him have a good day, but it was good to see Darian take advantage of that. It happened some in the Jacksonville State game a little bit where he got loose some, but you could see his aggression back again. He wasn't running sideways. He wasn't doing all that dancing around with the ball. He was going downhill, and I was really proud of him.
Yeah, while the offense was scoring, the Golden Eagles played pretty good defense, too, in the second half. And they got a couple of big field goals from Chris Harris as we check out the second half highlights brought to you by Miller Lite.
As I said, buddy, the first time we got the ball in the third quarter, we went down and scored and made it 35-3, and I thought that pretty much put the game away. And we could eat clock the rest of the way, play solid defense, got a couple of field goals, and here again, they don't take Darian.
Yeah.
They hang with a dive, and he's able to dive into the end zone.
Tennessee Tech on defense looking good. You had several guys with some big games. Jordan Patrick also with a pretty good game.
Jordan Patrick's played well all year, a freshman from Alcoa, just going to be a fantastic player. We get him bigger and stronger in his time at Tech, and really excited about him.
Golden Eagles are up 35-3 at this point. Southeast Missouri finally finds the end zone on a 15-yard touchdown run by Spencer Davis.
Yes, we had that really wasn't a great call for us there. We had a blitz on, and you play, if somebody's running an option into a blitz sometimes, that makes it hard on you. So that was a good call by them. They held us right here, got the ball back. We punted it to them, and then they fumbled the first play. And again, a big play by our defense right there.
Yeah, Madoho Akpakawarek forced the fumble. Malcolm Mitchell recovered, and then Chris Harris hits it through the uprights, a 26-yard field goal to make it 38-10.
Nice drive. We ate up about 6 minutes on the clock, got a field goal out of it, and now we're into the fourth quarter. The game is ticking down now, and we feel very good. Got a good, strong lead.
Yeah, Malcolm Mitchell there with a tackle for a 6-yard loss. And then Southeast Missouri gets on the scoreboard one more time, a 17-yard touchdown pass for the final margin of victory there at 35 points.
Well, we didn't play that well.
Points.
Disappointed in our corner play right there. We kind of let the guy run by us. It's late in the game. You don't want to give up the easy score, but that's my favorite playing football, and I haven't seen it enough this year, to say the least, is that victory formation.
Yeah, it certainly was good to see that. Tennessee Tech wins it 41-16, 25-point margin of victory there, and the Golden Eagles improved to 4-7 overall. And Coach, like you said, this comes at a good time here. You're getting toward the end of the season. You got one game left, another win there, and you guys are finishing on a positive note.
We'd love to get that last one and have a good November and taste victory here in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season a little bit, which, again, we've got so many players back, buddy. We'd like to have that momentum going into next year. It's also our seniors' last game, and we'd love to send them out the right way. SEMO did not get to do that Saturday. We don't want to taste the same thing with our seniors. Those seniors we've got, or the few we've got, have had a lot of big wins at Tennessee Tech, and we'd love to send them out with the last one.
Yeah, some other big games around the Ohio Valley Conference as we check out the OVC scoreboard, brought to you by the OVC Digital Network. Well, Eastern Illinois, they keep plugging right on along, Coach. They defeat Murray State. They go to Murray and win 37-17. Jimmy Garoppolo, gosh, he only threw for 299 yards and 1 touchdown. Must have been an off day for him.
They were up 37-0, so I think they probably handed the ball off in the fourth quarter, and he probably didn't throw very many passes, and Murray got some points late in the game.
Battle of in-state rivals, Tennessee State 31, Austin P6. I believe TSU secured the York Trophy with that victory.
Yeah, they did secure the York Trophy. They've had a very strong year. It was a good win for them. I think that may be their last home game.
Elsewhere around the league, probably the most shocking score I think I've seen all season, Coach. Jacksonville State over Eastern Kentucky, 68-10. Did you ever think EKU was capable of giving up 68 points?
No, and I don't even know how it happened. I haven't seen the stats of the game. I did see they had 500 yards, so it wasn't an unbelievable amount, but I'd love to know what happened in that game to get it to 68, because that defense, well, the last 5 weeks in a row, the most points they've given up is 10.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville State's a very good team. As it's worked out, I think that the top 2 teams will be playing each other here late in the year in Jacksonville State and EIU.
Wow. And in one non-conference game, it was UT Martin losing to Memphis 21-6. Checking out the standings, Eastern Illinois still all alone up there at the top at 6-0, 9-1 overall. TSU, Jacksonville State, Eastern Kentucky, and UT Martin all with 2 losses. Coach, do you think any one of those teams has a chance to make the playoffs?
I think it's really tough. I think it's going to be really tough. I thought if Eastern Kentucky had kept winning, they had a good shot. But with all of them 2 losses, and one of them could have 3 in Jacksonville State. I don't know who Eastern Kentucky's got left. I'm afraid we're just going to get one team in.
Yeah, it looked like TSU had a chance for a while, and it looked like Eastern Kentucky had a chance for a while. And
well, the TSU loss of 44-0 at Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah,
that was just a killer to them.
Yeah. Well, we've got more Watson Brown Show coming up. We've got some new uniforms we're going to unveil, plus we got your Twitter questions. Stick with us. There's more Watson Brown Show coming up. Don't go away.
Tennessee Tech tickets available at 931-372-3940 or ttusports.com.
Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show. We appreciate you tuning us in this week. Well, it's time now for our Golden Eagle Player Profile, brought to you by IWC Cash and Carry. This week, we visit with senior Malcolm Mitchell.
All right, I'm Malcolm Mitchell, and I play strong side defensive end, and I'm number 94, and I'm a senior. It has to be my father, and basically me. I guess I liked watching it on TV, and I think I asked him to play it. I was about 5 years old. I remember I was number 80, and that was my last high school number when I was a senior, so it kind of special, a little special. I just have to say, it's just coming out the tunnel here. Just coming out the tunnel, seeing the band right there, it gets you pretty amped up. And I remember the first game, I think it was North Greenville, we played last year. I don't think I started, but I got in. And I just had a good time. That's all I really do. That's why I play football, just to have fun. I really just like being on this field, playing the game, really. Coach Brown, he's a great coach, man. He really just wants you to do your best so you can succeed. So I like that in the coach because he knows he's been through it and he tells us he's been through it. So that's why I like him as a coach. Tennessee Tech University. Well, first, it's a great school. It's a great little community where everybody can try to stick together. But as far as the football team, it's an experience, especially comparing it to my old school and opportunities I had there and when I come here. It's kind of the same, but it's different at the same time. So it was interesting to see just all the details in it. I did. Well, I love hot dogs. So if it was just a nice little Sunday, cool afternoon, go on the grill, get some hot dogs, hamburgers. I don't know about that. I think the most I can get down in the hours about, I say 8, 9. Yeah. I'm Malcolm Mitchell.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs and hamburgers. I'll tell you what, we saw some good highlights from Malcolm Mitchell in the Southeast Missouri game, and he's been a force on defense this year.
He has been a force in the time he's played at Tech. He was a transfer from Louisville, teammate of Jerry King and Blake Adams.
Yeah.
That's the reason that really he came to Tennessee Tech, and he's been we don't take many transfers here. He's been a fantastic one. We will really miss Malcolm. He's one of those few seniors that we're really going to miss.
Yep. Well, it's time now to check out Inside Tech Football, and that's brought to you by Pepsi. This week, it's time to reveal some camo uniforms. Coach, the final home game of the season, military appreciation. So one of the nice ways to appreciate the military is to add a little camo to your uniforms.
I think it's really neat. The kids are going to be really excited about doing it, and we'll wear these, I hope, every year now. And but we've not worn these at all this year. We've kept them for this game, and Mark helped us get these things. Mark Wilson, our AD, helped us get these. We'll wear our purple helmet with them, and you can see them a little bit here.
Yeah.
They're neat looking now. Our players haven't seen them. This is probably the first time watching the show that they've even seen the uniform. We've not had them out.
Of course, we're taping this show on Veterans Day, and you can't say enough about our veterans and how much we appreciate them. And to do something like this, Coach, I think it's very classy, very classy.
It would mean so much to my dad. He was a World War II vet, and I think the proudest moment other than his family was all of his family within that, and would go back every year before he passed away to be with those guys once a year. And I've got the flag from Dad's funeral, and it just all those guys mean so much to us. We just can't give them enough credit, buddy.
Right.
We wouldn't get to do the things that we do the sacrifices of our military have not done all they've done through all the years, not just here recently.
Yeah, that's true. And to have a Military Appreciation Day on the final home game, of course, that's going to be in a couple of weeks at home against Austin Peay. We certainly welcome all military, all branches, all veterans, everybody to come out.
Well, and it's neat with Fort Campbell up close to Clarksville up there too. And as many of those guys as we've watched them take off in these last few wars we've been in. And so it's going to be a neat day. I look forward to doing this every year.
Yep. Well, it's time now to turn our attention to our Where Have They Landed feature. And this week we hear from Dave Wilkinson.
My name is Dave Wilkinson. I was a pitcher at Tennessee Tech under Coach David Mays from the years 1979 to 1982, 4 years. Well, I think playing baseball at Tennessee Tech and being a starter for all 4 years I was there as a pitcher and pitching every fourth game or whatever else certainly helped me to grow up, helped me to mature to the point where I was in a lot of pressure situations, as you can imagine. Probably not the same kind of pressure situations with the Secret Service, but it certainly prepared me for that. That was just one more thing, I think, to prepare me to take on that role. And that's probably why there's a lot of athletes in the Secret Service. At one time at the White House, at one point on my shift of agents, the entire starting defensive backfield from Notre Dame was all on my shift. These guys had all been in the same defensive backfield for Notre Dame. So we had that kind of athletic, folks on the detail. So there was a lot of sports involved, a lot of discussion of sports, of course. And so I think every agent in the Secret Service would tell you they learned how to be a team player. They learned what it was to put the mission first, and that is to win the game, or in this case, protect the president, as your absolute top priority, and nothing can get in the way of that. And I think they all learned from that. And I think any Secret Service agent would tell you their sports career helped them in a great way to become the Secret Service agent that they were. Your average Secret Service agent's probably 30, 32 years old when they're hired, and because it's so competitive in the hiring process. But I decided about midway of my senior year at Tech that if I wasn't going to go on and play baseball, I really wanted to be a Secret Service agent. And so what I did is I began the process of being recruited through the Secret Service, and I wasn't really as keen on being a local police officer and then working my way up. So I really wanted to go right for the sort of major leagues, if you will, in law enforcement and be a Secret Service agent. And I was fortunate enough that I had an uncle that was a longtime Secret Service agent that was retiring. He was just in the process of retiring, and he helped set me up an interview with the agent in charge of the office there in Nashville. And I went and interviewed with him, and we really hit it off. And I was really lucky. I was lucky in the fact that they were going to hire over 300 agents in 2003. A normal year was they were hiring 50 to 100 agents, but that year they were going to hire 300 agents. That, together with the fact that I really hit it off with them, together with the fact they hire a lot of athletes. They like athletes. So I was lucky enough to be able to get hired on by the Secret Service at the age of still 22. And in my 22 years with the Secret Service, I never met another Secret Service agent that started that young. The 23 was the youngest I ever met, but the average was probably more like 28. So I was very fortunate to get hired, and when I look back on it over the years, realized just how fortunate I was. Especially when I got older and became part of the hiring process and realized we just don't hire that many people. There's thousands of applications, you're going to hire 100 people. So I was very fortunate, but so lucky that I was able to get hired. I'm Dave Wilkinson, and that's where I've landed.
Wow, Coach, we've got an astronaut, we've got a rapping dentist, and now we've got a Secret Service agent, all TTU alum.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? I've really enjoyed these segments, whether they're football players, baseball players, basketball players. There's been a little bit of everything, and I'd love to sit with this guy for a couple of hours and hear some of that. I bet you he could tell us some really good ones.
Well, we're going to be talking with Coach about your Twitter questions, plus we're going to enjoy an open day. We'll hear Coach's thoughts about that. There's more Watson Brown Show coming up. Don't go away.
Tennessee Tech tickets available at 931-372-3940 or ttusports.com.
Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry. Well, if you have a question for Coach Brown, you can tweet it at TTU Golden Eagles. And, of course, we have some questions for you, Coach, that have been tweeted in. Let's first talk about Darian Stone. He certainly had a great game. I think he had 297 total yards of offense, ran the ball 29 times, passed it 22 times. The question wants to know, Darian Stone had a great day. What did he do differently this week?
Well, he was more aggressive. I thought that was the big difference. He used his abilities. He's got a very strong arm. He's got really good legs, and he can dodge you, but yet he can also fall forward and gain some yards. And thought he'd quit doing those things. He was kind of running sideways. Yeah. You remember the short yardage play against Jacksonville State when he took off sideways instead of running straight up the field. He didn't do that Saturday. Ran over some people a couple of times. Yeah. I mean, he could play running back. He could be a really good receiver. He's that kind of athlete. And then I thought he threw the ball on time better. He didn't. Now, we protected him better than we did in some of the games, but I thought he got rid of the ball quicker. The one interception he had, he held it too long and run around a little bit too much and then threw it late and got it picked off. But he just got back to what I saw early in the year before all of his injuries, he had a sore knee, he had the slit in his finger that he missed 2 games, he had a concussion, he missed 2 games. And I thought this is the first time he's really back to where I think he feels good and he got his aggression back.
Speaking of running backs, pretty much went with Stephen Bush and Cody Forbes in the backfield. I think that paid off pretty good.
We went with the old guys. We went with the guys that have played more. Our young guys were just making so many mistakes. Isaiah McKinney, Radir Anur, some of those guys. And we just said, let's go back, and we're going with Cody and Stephen. I thought they both played well in the game. We knew they had to block a lot because also Darian was going to carry the ball more. And I thought both of them played very well.
Yeah. Another Twitter question here. Which of your current receivers is considered your go-to receiver?
You know, that's been our problem. I don't know that we've had one, and I don't know that we still have one. We've had one, Cody Matthews. He's just been gone now. And we might get him back for the Austin Peay game. It'd be neat for him to play one more game with us. But honestly, I think if you see it each week, it's somebody different. Eric Blue had 6 catches 2 weeks ago. Right. Jordan Smith had 6 catches this week. Chris Cates has had some big games. Steve Wilson's had some big catches. It's just been somebody different every week. And I think for us to get back on track and be a conference champion caliber type team, somebody's got to be that next year.
Yep. Special teams, of course, Chad Zincini continues to have an outstanding season as the punter. But now at place kicker, Zach Sharp is out. Chris Harris has been implemented into the lineup. He kicked 2 field goals, all of his extra points. Who's your field goal kicker?
Oh, I think it's Chris right now. There's no doubt about it. He made every kick that he had. He got better on the sky kicks as the game went on. It seemed like every time we kicked off, we were into the wind Saturday. Yeah. So we were doing the sky kicks. His early ones were too short. Later in the game, I thought they were getting deeper. And 2 big field goals that kept us, gave us momentum in the fourth quarter to put the game away.
And, of course, there's no opponent this week. This is your open date after 11 straight weeks. How does the team schedule change this week with the open date?
Well, if you're earlier in the year, you practice more, but I think late in the year, we need time. We're just beat up. We've played 11 straight games, so we're going to practice in shorts on Wednesday and pads on Thursday, give them off again Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and practice Monday night and pick up an extra practice for Austin Peay.
Now, what about you? I mean, you got a Saturday night off.
Oh, I might have Saturday off, but everything else, this is big recruiting time now. Yeah. We're all on the phones out. We don't have very many scholarships. We've got 8. We don't want to miss any of the 8 that we've got. We spent all day today recruiting, but doing it again Tuesday, do it again Wednesday. They'll be on the road Friday out in the high schools in Tennessee watching playoffs games. So this is a hard week for coaches.
And, Coach, we certainly don't want to let this slide by. Your victory over Southeast Missouri, your brother Mac's victory, he's the head coach at Texas over West Virginia, put you and Mac Brown as the winningest coaching brothers in college football, and I think that is an outstanding accomplishment.
Yeah, that's neat for Mac and I, and it was neat that we both won on the day that we broke it. But that tells you one thing: it's 2 old brothers. We've both been doing this a long time. 41 years for me. 31 of the 41 I think 30 of the 41 as a head coach.
Did you think about it at all? I mean, has it crossed your mind? Is it anything that you guys have dwelled on?
No, you don't, because you're competing. You're trying to win a game. Yeah. Both of us have had struggles this year. It's amazing. Mac's getting it going better now. Big win for us Saturday. Both of us have very young teams, so it'll be interesting to see what happens from here. But you just don't think about those kind of things during the year. We'll have a toast somewhere after the season's over. And I'm very proud of my brother, very proud of all he's done in his career.
Now, were you watching his game on the way back? Did you have a chance to watch?
Yes, and it was 4th and 7 on the last drive of the game. I didn't know that it was going to happen, to tell you the truth. And they converted that 4th and 7, went in, sent the game into overtime, and won in overtime.
What about, have you been getting any emails or texts or anybody congratulating you or anything like that?
Got a lot of family friends that knew it was close, and that's what means more to you anyway. It's those close friends and family members that have been there with you through 41 years of all the stuff that he and I have done.
Yep.
41 years for both of us. That's a lot of years.
Of course, your grandfather, Eddie Jelly Watson, famous coach in this area. How proud would he be of you and Mac right now?
Oh, I can see my granddad right now when we played each other, and he was at Tulane and I was at Vanderbilt, and he had that hat that was Tulane on this side and Vanderbilt on this side wearing it, and whoever had the ball, he'd turn it that way. My granddad would be very proud.
Well, I think everybody else is very proud too. Congratulations again. And of course, you can enjoy an open date, and then we'll be back next week to talk about Austin Peay. For Tennessee Tech head coach Watson Brown, I'm Buddy Pearson. We'll see you next week right here on the Watson Brown Show.
The Watson Brown Show has been brought to you by IWC Cash and Carry, Wendy's Breakfast in Cookeville, Miller Lite, and Pepsi.
With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.